let's talk about how to draw and how to use color, the fill color and the stroke color within Illustrator. That's really what this video is going to be about, okay? When you draw, do not have the mistaken idea that you are drawing this little thin black line. Let's thicken it up so you guys can see it just a little bit. So you've got an 8 or 10 point stroke. Let's give it about 10 point. Don't think that you're drawing this black line. You're not, okay? That is merely an appearance. It's like clothing that's attached to something else. What's it attached to? It's attached to the little thin blue path, okay? That blue path will be a different color if it's on a different layer, but that's for a later video. Don't worry about that for now. So what you're drawing is the little blue path. You're establishing an anchor point, that little dot, and that anchor point is using this other anchor point to define this path segment. That's what you're drawing. You're simply attaching a stroke on it, okay? This black stroke can be changed and modified. Notice as we change that black stroke to a 20 point stroke, or 20 pixel stroke, it gets thicker, but that blue path doesn't change a lick. It doesn't change one little bit. And if we go further here and we swap the fill color in the stroke, and you can't see the fill color because it's white on a white piece of paper, okay? But what I'm going to tell you is when you're first learning Illustrator, draw with a fill color of none. None is not white. White and clear are different things. Clear or none is a white box with a red slash through it. That's what will give you truly a clear image there, okay? White is just white, okay? So if we take this fill color, this represents our fill color, this represents our stroke color. Let me show you what I'm talking about here. You'll get it as we start going. So at that fill color, if we come over here to our stroke palette or to our color palette, our swatches, and we give that fill color a big orange fill, we can see that it's filling a color from the starting anchor point to the last anchor point we made. If we click over here and make another one, we're going to have a really weird fill that fills again from the starting anchor point to the last anchor point we made. Now if we come back over here, it looks a little more normal, but it's just filling from the first to the last. And if we close that shape, we'll see that that fill is actually a good thing. But when we're drawing, especially when we're first learning Illustrator, I'm just pressing Command-Z to undo that a few times. When we're first drawing with Illustrator, it's really confusing and downright irritating to draw with a fill on. So I urge you to draw with no fill whatsoever, okay? Just draw with none. But let me show you for a minute here. You got this little swap button. It'll swap the colors of the fill and the stroke. So you can swap that out, right? If you want to change the color of the stroke, instead of changing the color of the fill, simply click the stroke box and notice it actually comes up in front of the fill box, and you come back over here to your swatches and you pick some other color. Let's say we pick green, for instance. Boom. So now we've got a stroke color that's green. Let's change that to dark blue. I like dark blue. There we go. So we're going to have a stroke color that's dark blue and a fill color that's orange. Okay? I'm going to go back over and pull the fill color in front, and I'm going to click this none. You'll notice there's a none option over here in the color, and in the swatches there's a none option right there too. So you click none, and now there's no fill in that space, okay? And that's easier for most people when they're first starting to use Illustrator. It's easier for you to actually work on this. It's easier for you to learn to draw like that, okay? And then of course you can go back after all is said and done. You can go back and you can fill that if you want to. If you want to go ahead and fill that with purple, or let's do something a little bit brighter, let's say yellow, then you can fill it with yellow or orange or whatever you want to fill it with, okay? You fill it after the fact instead of while you're working. That way you don't get confused by it or anything, okay? This is kind of redundant, but check out what I show you in the next video. I'm going to show you the appearances palette and show you how all this is true about what I'm talking about everything sort of being hung upon this, this path segment. So check out the next video as soon as you can. I think it'll be really beneficial for you.